Hello, everyone. My name is Alex Creech, and I'm sitting down with Shelby Short this week. She's from Florida Network Property Management and going to tell us a little bit more about our property management with Berkshire Hathaway. All right, so first things first, Shelby, what are
Sure.
the services that you guys provide?
Sure. So what we provide is we list the properties for owners that are either investors or want to rent their house. We advertise their properties in MLS and on our website, which then goes out to Zillow, Trulia, and all other different kind of rental websites. And then we screen the tenant. We have lawyers that write our leases for us. We accept the payments for the rent and then transfer that to the owners. We take care of all of the maintenance items that the tenants would have if the AC doesn't work. They would go in, put a maintenance request in, and then the nice part for the owner is for full management, they're hands off. So at the end of the year, we send the W-9 to them, and then their statement and everything is packaged from the whole year, so they can turn that over to their tax person and get the credits and
Oh, wow.
deductions. Yeah,
Just hand that over and then the accountant does the rest?
that's right.
You said for full management, is there different packages?
There is. So we offer full management, which again, we take care of everything. We also handle tenant placement. And with the tenant placement, that's just doing the front end and getting the tenant in the property. And then the owner becomes the landlord.
Oh, okay. I see.
Mhm.
Gotcha. That's great that you have multiple services.
Okay.
And what is the communication like for both? I guess you're the in between the owner and the tenant.
Yes.
What's that
And
communication like?
we, so what's really nice is our property management software, the owner and the tenant can go in, and so they can see their own things. So the owner can log in and see if there's any maintenance issues or if when the rent was paid, anything like that. The tenant can go in and communicate with us if there's any problems or if they want to renew their lease. So it's a nice way to kind of put the communication in writing.
Yeah.
And then, but otherwise, we're more of a boutique property management company. We have 131 properties that we manage,
Okay.
and I know every single one of my owners and every single one of my tenants.
Wow. And what are the most common questions that you receive from homeowners?
So a lot of times, first of all, is how much we charge. Um, but other common questions are how do you find the rental price? And we do rental comps just like sales agents
Like
do
us
comps.
realtors?
Exactly.
Okay.
So I'll go in and search the area for what the current rents are and what's happening and how many properties are on the market. One of the other questions that we get a lot is who's responsible for the maintenance. So a lot of homeowners think that we actually pay the maintenance portion too, which the homeowner is actually responsible for any repairs that need to be done unless it's the tenant's fault. If it's the tenant's fault, then they're responsible for it.
Then the tenant's responsible?
Yes.
Gotcha. And Shelby, what sets Florida Network Property Management apart from all the other property management companies here in Jacksonville?
So again, I think we're more of a boutique type
Okay.
property management company where we don't have thousands of rental properties that we handle. We would love to grow, and we are growing every month, but it's still the fact that it's very hands-on. When we have an AC issue, I can literally pick up the phone and call the owner of the AC company if it's an emergency,
Okay.
and he can get his techs out a lot of times the same day, even if it's on the weekend. So we just have a lot of really great connections, and it's more personal than it, we have relationships, like I said, with all of our tenants and all of our owners.
And speaking of relationships, you just brought up something that I hadn't really thought about was how quick a turnaround maybe on a contractor is that a benefit of also being with a property management company like such as yourself
Absolutely.
to get those guys out there?
Absolutely. The AC company I've been working with them for at least 13 years.
Okay.
And so the fact that they can be putting an AC in the morning and then be done for the day. But if I have an emergency or someone without air, they will go the same day and get it done instead of waiting 24 or 48 hours for a tenant with no air conditioning.
Okay, that's great. And I'm
They get
sure
a little crabby.
sure it's the same for plumbing and electrical and
Yes.
all
Yep.
of those relationships as well.
Yeah,
So,
actually
another benefit.
Yes. Last Sunday night, I had a plumber go out. He was there within an hour because there was a pipe that had broke.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So we're very fortunate to have great vendors.
Excellent. Are there any other advantages that come to mind of using a property management company?
So I think one of the great advantages that we started doing in the past 5 years or so is that we now require our tenants to have renters insurance, and they have to name us on the policy or the owner on the policy, so that if they would stop paying renters insurance, we get notified as well. And then that way they have the insurance for their content and then also liability insurance.
Right. Hugely important.
Mm-hmm.
And what are some common misconceptions in the property management industry?
I think a lot of people think we sit behind the desk, where I actually put thousands of miles on my car every year.
Wow.
Because we're going to the different properties. Another misconception is that we work from 9 to 5, because I constantly get texts at 10 o'clock at night from owners, 5 o'clock in the morning, maybe from somebody that's in a different time zone overseas. So we have to be realtors to do property management in the state of Florida, but we're on 24/7 as well.
And that might be something that if someone's watching out of state that they might not know, is that there's no property management license here in Florida. It's just a realtor's license.
Correct.
To be able to do property management or sell property.
Correct.
That's
correct.
I would say that's a harder hurdle to get to.
Correct.
And so Shelby, what if I had a seller and we weren't able to sell their property? They decided that, you know what, I'm just going to hold out for a year, wait till the market changes and rent it out. How would that work if I were to refer this customer to you?
So it is a big benefit to all of our agents that they refer the properties to us, because when we go into our property management software and put the owner in, one of the boxes that is a mandatory fill in the box is who referred the property. So a year from now, because I have that relationship with your client, he's going to call me and say, Shelby, I think we're going to sell. What should we do? And right away, I don't compete with you. I only do property management. So I'm going to say, you know what, we need to get Alex, and we need to give him a call and find out. And then I pick up the phone and call you immediately and say, hey, Mr. Jones is ready to sell. We need to get on that. So then you get the property back to sell. So I take care of it while they have a tenant in place. But then when they're ready to sell, it goes back to you.
And I know on the real estate side of things, that's peace of mind for us agents to know that we're handing it off to Shelby, because I know Shelby's going to take great care of our customers. And then at the end of that year, if they do want to sell, then Amanda and I can take that back over and put it back on the market. And is there any recent experience you've had where you've had to kind of think outside the box to come to a solution?
Yes. So one of a condo community in Jax Beach, actually, a pipe burst, and the pipe was right next to the electrical and shut down the whole condominium. So everyone had to leave for, I think it ended up being about a month.
Wow.
And so I had a tenant in there that pays a very large amount of rent every month. So in order to get him situated, because there's no water and no electricity, and there's only an elevator to get, I mean, there's stairs, but in order to get to the unit, he was on the 5th floor. So, but we moved him out successfully and kept him up to date with everything that was going on. And now they're going to be moving back in. So, hotel stays. And
oh my gosh. Did you find him a place, or?
He found his hotel on his own, but
But having to coordinate all of that, I'm sure was a headache.
Yes.
Wow. And Shelby, what do you like about your job?
So The best part about my job is actually who I work with. Property management is not, I wasn't young thinking I wanted to grow up and be a property manager. But I love working with people. I love being able to build relationships with all of our agents. Everybody in Berkshire Hathaway, we work hard, but we also play hard, and it's just a great family. And I've met a lot of wonderful owners. I've met a lot of wonderful tenants. I even have tenants that have become my owners.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
Wow.
So just the relationships over the year, that's my favorite part.
Excellent. And if a tenant wanted to be in one of your properties, what would they have to do?
So our requirements are 3 times the monthly rent and income. They have to prove that to us in some way, last 3 pay stubs or last year's taxes. And then we do a criminal background check and a credit check. And they have to have a 600 credit score or above. Something that is new to the property management world as well is if they have a pet, they have to go through petscreening.com. And petscreening.com actually does the application. So it takes the liability off of us and off of the owner.
Okay.
And then they have to upload pictures of the pet, all of their vet records, if they have training, if they have insurance. And then they get a paw score of 1 to 5 paws. 5 paws being the best. And then it's another way of, again, just taking liability off of us.
And for going down that pet portal, does the owner still get to choose whether they take pets or not? Or is that a requirement of being with Florida Network?
So the owner does have the option to
So they
say
can say
yes,
yes,
to
no.
pets or no to pets.
Okay.
But we also have emotional support animals and service animals now.
Sure. Okay.
So that's another reason to take that liability off of us and let a third party go ahead and do that. That knows all the
Gotcha.
laws and everything around having an emotional support animal or a service animal. So that's really helpful.
Well, that's really great. This is Shelby Short with Florida Network Property Management, and I really appreciate your time and sitting down and talk with me.
Yeah, thank you.